I want to introduce our next talk. So please welcome Isabela del Alcázar, Global Head of Sustainability at IE University. Thank you very much for being here, Isa.
Hello.
There we go. Take a seat, please. And to accompany Isabela, please welcome Pedro Alonso, Communications Director at Sacyr, and Nacho, naturalist and professional explorer. There you go. Keep going, keep going. There you go, Nacho. And I have an interesting fact about Nacho that I was just mentioning a moment ago. You're going to help plant trees, my friend, because Nacho here has an impressive track record. He's a naturalist and professional explorer. He was the first person to complete a walk around the globe and the first person to go linking all 5 continents swimming. Can you take your shirt off? Maybe later.
Later.
Okay, Isabela, floor is yours. Enjoy.
So thank you for inviting us here today. We are here to talk about building the sustainable mindset. And I will start talking about what's happening now, pandemics, which are unique among natural disasters in that they affect the whole world at the same time, just like climate change is doing. There's no time to lose, and we need to be ready for a behavioral change, leaving aside our individual priorities to work together for the collective welfare. We need to reorient all of our political, economic, and social systems, as well as creating the right mindset in the people with whom we work. Well, you've already been introduced. So we have here the opportunity to talk to Nacho. He's been walking around the globe. He met people from different cultures. He's seen lovely landscapes. How do you think the world is reacting to this current situation?
Well, thank you very much for the question, Isabela. To travel on foot is the best way to know the culture, the countries, the places, and of course to document the state, the health state of the environments you walk through. During 3 years, from 2013 to 2016, and then 2 years later, from 2018 to 2019, I've been walking around the world, and I have an idea of the real size of the planet. It's a knowledge based on my own true experience. And I can say the planet is not so big, so we should take care of it. I've spent almost half of my life in the open air, in contact with nature, and I experienced the planet as a living being where everything is connected. The atmosphere, the wind, the oceans, the soil, biodiversity, human beings, we belong to nature. We are part of the full picture, and we should be aware of that. Every action has a consequence, has an impact. During my second expedition, when I was in Turkey, Turkey is the most polluted country by plastics in the Mediterranean area. The second one is Spain. But most of those plastics are thrown in different countries of the Mediterranean. So what I mean, a single action is not enough. A global action is needed. My vision is a humanity of free, healthy, and happy people living in balance with the planet boundaries.
Yes. Well, actually, what you're saying, we do care a lot about the environment, and it's very important, and it's part of the sustainability agenda, but also the people that live in the planet and how we treat them. And I would say also we need, and this is a must, a healthy economy for the country to excel. So I know there are several players which are equally important. We have, for example, governments that are the ones that put policies in place, and this defines the framework in which companies can operate. We also have the private sector. And so, Pedro, if you can please talk to us on your opinion of the role of the private sector and what is Sacyr doing, please.
Thank you, Isabela. And Nacho, nice to meet you too. It's amazing, your story. So I hope we can collaborate in the future, of course, in your next adventure.
Thank you.
So the pandemic has revealed our vulnerability as a society. And the challenges we already face, such as climate change, are compounded by the need to rebuild the welfare state in a better way, build back better, in order to curb expanding inequality. This situation has shown us that we must be prepared for this type of crisis, and we cannot allow this to happen again. This situation has shone a spotlight on countless vulnerabilities and has highlighted the interconnection between systems, providing a stark reminder of risks that can emerge when we allow weaknesses and negative impacts accumulate over time. As Sacyr, we have the ability to build, in partnership with other agents, everything that has been hit by this pandemic. Our activities and business areas are closely involved in improving people's quality of life, structuring territories and economic growth, but in a sustainable way, okay? Connecting with our stakeholders to know what they need and provide it in the same pack with infrastructure such as roads, hospitals, water plants, and so on. We're a company with a focus in public-private partnership, PPP. So we stay for many years in a country, living and contributing for a sustainable development.
Yes, you are talking about collaborations. I was stating before that there were different players, but clearly collaboration is the key to success, and private-public partnerships are already happening, as you're saying, and this is how it must be, actually, because climate change, we do think of it as something that's slowly happening, and that we have time and to act against, but the truth is that the planet is continuously heating, and we're reaching the point of no return. I know Nacho has wonderful examples of things he's seen related to climate change around the world. If you want to share, please.
Yeah, of course. Climate has been always changing, but in a very long period of time. What happened actually nowadays is, as a consequence of the human activity, is changing in a very short period of time. When I was in the Bering Strait, very close to the North Pole, I was living with Inuit, with Eskimo culture, and I could witness with my own eyes the consequence of the global warming. I helped them to build a wall to stop the waves of the sea in winter. It's a region that used to be frozen in winter, but now, as a consequence of the global warming, the temperatures are rising as the sea level, and there is no more ice. Now we face a pandemic. One of the things we learn is how deeply connected is the health of humanity to the health of the planet. It's not possible a healthy people on a planet that is sick. So we must be aware of that. And one of the things we learned, we talked about it before, is that we should create partnership and we should act all together. It's not only about the single action, it's about the society, it's about the governments, and it's also about the exponential impact capacity companies. So how we do this? Through innovation, through education, and through law.
Yes, and I think something good about the pandemic is that we've suddenly become aware that things can happen and change in 2 days. and we do need inspiring stories. We need role models like you, that you are one for many people. And we also need the companies to create a culture of sustainability so that people that work there can start feeling how things can be, and this will help them act in a more positive way towards sustainability. There's a McKinsey report I actually read last week, and it said the following thing: businesses looking to make external social contribution should, paradoxically, look inside. Improving workers' job satisfaction could be the single most important thing they do. This is one fact. The other is, and this is from another review, Harvard Business Review, and it said that many employees were willing to trade a percentage of their lifetime salary to be in a company that works towards a meaning. So why is this? Because we need happy employees that are satisfied working in a company that cares and is moving forward for something a positive impact. No? So I know Pedro shared with me that at Sacyr you want to be agents of change. How is this?
Absolutely, Isabela. We want to contribute to society's progress towards a sustainable future and be a reference in the development and management of infrastructures that have a positive social, economic and environmental impact for the benefit of all our stakeholders. Our performance is based on values such as social commitment and environmental ethics, elements that are catalysts for well-being and sustainable progress wherever we operate. We want to be closer to the societies where we operate and contribute to improving people's quality of life, always from a responsible business model. Likewise, one of the main goals of Sacyr Group is promoting social and economic value creation in those communities. Through the Sacyr Foundation, we implement both direct and indirect actions that have a great impact on society, with more than 100,000 beneficiaries last year with our volunteers. And we have a very strong plan of internal communications calling to action to our people to make action in many areas like water supply, hospitals, or now in COVID-19 crisis, food programs.
Yes, so do you think this pandemic has shown us that we are ready to put aside our individual priorities and change our habits?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely. One of the things we learned is how important is to think in global. A global action is needed, and that we should prioritize the community welfare before our personal interest. So we must think and act as global citizens. I think it's an amazing time also to create relationships, to create ecosystems and partnerships. And also we've got a roadmap set by the United Nations and the Sustainable Development Goals. So I think is, of course, one of the things we should is to prioritize the community interest and our personal. As I saw through my expeditions, there is nothing impossible. I try to show in the books I've written and a documentary I'm working on what we are capable of when we focus on a goal and we work hard for it. Now we face one of the biggest challenges in history, but I'm sure with hard work and working all together, we will overcome it.
Yes. So thank you very much for being here. I just want to finish by saying also the very important role of education at all levels in creating the right sustainable mindset. So thanks.